Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is not just a book. It's a financial wake-up call. This bestseller reveals eye-opening lessons about money, investing, and financial freedom that can change your life forever. What you'll learn in this book: the difference between working for money and making money work for you. How the rich think differently about wealth and opportunities. Why assets want to make you rich and liabilities keep you poor. The secrets of financial education that the rich pass on to their kids. How to start your journey toward financial freedom today. Don't miss this book if you want to. Break free from financial struggles. Build passive income and wealth. Make smarter investment decisions. Take control of your financial future. If you're ready to change your mindset about money and start building real wealth, this book is your first step. Chapter 1. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki introduces the two most influential figures in his financial journey, his poor dad and his rich dad. His biological father, whom he calls Poor Dad, was a highly educated man who believed in job security, working hard, and relying on a steady paycheck. On the other hand, his best friend's father, whom he refers to as Rich Dad, had little formal education, but was a successful businessman who believed in financial education, investing, and making money work for you. As children, Robert and his friend Mike were eager to learn how to become rich. When Robert asked his poor dad how to achieve wealth, he was given the traditional advice: get a good education, find a secure job, and work hard. However, this answer did not satisfy him, so he and Mike turned to Rich Dad for guidance. Instead of giving them a straightforward answer, Rich Dad decided to teach them through experience. He made them work in his store for a very low wage. After a few days, Robert became frustrated and complained that he wasn't being paid fairly. This is when Rich Dad taught him a vital lesson. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. In this chapter, Kiyosaki introduces the concept of the rat race, a cycle where people work hard, earn money, increase their expenses, and then work even harder to maintain their lifestyle. This never-ending loop keeps them trapped in financial struggles. According to Rich Dad, the only way to escape this cycle is through financial education. He believed that instead of working harder for money, people should learn how to invest and acquire assets that generate passive income. The key message of this chapter is that the rich and poor think differently about money. While poor and middle-class individuals rely on their jobs and salaries for financial security, the wealthy focus on creating assets and making investments that provide financial freedom. Kiyosaki encourages readers to rethink their approach to money and to develop financial intelligence as the first step toward becoming truly wealthy. Chapter 2. The Rich Don't Work for Money. In the second chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains one of the most fundamental lessons he learned from his rich dad. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. He highlights how most people spend their entire lives working for a paycheck, believing that earning more money will solve their financial problems. However, the real issue is not how much money you make, but how you manage and grow it. To teach this lesson, Rich Dad gave Robert and his friend Mike a practical experience. He made them work at one of his stores for a very low wage. After some time, Robert became frustrated and confronted Rich Dad, saying that he was working hard but not earning enough. Instead of increasing their pay, Rich Dad removed their wages altogether. This forced Robert and Mike to think outside the traditional work-for-money mindset. Eventually, they found an opportunity, collecting old comic books from the store and renting them out to other kids, creating a small business. This experience taught them that instead of depending on a paycheck, they could build systems that generate income even when they are not actively working. Kiyosaki introduces the concept of fear and greed, explaining that these emotions control most people's financial decisions. Fear of not having money forces people to work hard for a paycheck, while greed pushes them to spend more as they earn more, keeping them trapped in the rat race. Instead of looking for opportunities to create wealth, they become dependent on their jobs and hope for pay raises. The key takeaway from this chapter is that financial freedom comes from learning how to make money work for you, rather than working for money your whole life. Wealthy people look for ways to invest in assets that generate passive income, while the poor and middle class remain stuck in the cycle of working harder and spending more. Kiyosaki encourages readers to break free from this mindset and start thinking like the rich. By focusing on building assets and creating multiple sources of income. Chapter 3. Why Teach Financial Literacy? In the third chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains that the biggest difference between the rich and the poor is financial literacy, the ability to understand and manage money wisely. He argues that most people struggle financially not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't know how to handle money properly. Schools teach students how to work for money, but they don't teach how to make money work for them. As a result, many people, even those with high-paying jobs, remain stuck in financial difficulties. Rich Dad taught Robert a simple but powerful principle. It's not how much money you make, but how much you keep. The key to financial success is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets are things that put money into your pocket, like real estate, stocks, and businesses. Liabilities, on the other hand, take money out of your pocket, such as loans, credit card debt, and luxury purchases. Wealthy people focus on acquiring assets that generate passive income, while the poor and middle class tend to buy liabilities, often mistaking them for assets. One of the most common financial mistakes people make is believing that their house is an asset. Kiyosaki explains that if something is costing you money instead of generating income, it is a liability, not an asset. For example, a house requires mortgage payments, maintenance costs, and property taxes, making it an expense rather than an income-generating investment. To illustrate this lesson, Kiyosaki shares a personal example. One of his friends used his paycheck to buy an expensive car, while Robert invested his money in real estate. Over time, his property increased in value and generated rental income, allowing him to buy a car later without financial strain. This is how the rich get richer. They build assets first, which then fund their lifestyle. The key takeaway from this chapter is that earning money is not enough. Knowing how to manage and grow it is what leads to wealth. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial education is essential to achieving financial freedom. Instead of working for money, people should focus on acquiring assets, minimizing liabilities, and making their money work for them. Chapter 4. Focus on your own business. In the fourth chapter, Robert Kiyosaki teaches a crucial lesson. If you want to achieve financial freedom, you must focus on building your own assets, instead of only working for someone else. Most people spend their entire lives working hard for a paycheck, paying bills, and trying to make ends meet, but they never truly become financially independent. The rich, however, focus on acquiring assets that generate income even when they are not working. Kiyosaki explains that many people confuse their job with their business. A job provides temporary income, but a business or investment builds long-term wealth. Rich people invest in assets like real estate, stocks, and businesses, while the poor and middle class spend their earnings on expenses and liabilities that do not generate income. He warns against relying solely on a salary because job security is an illusion. Companies can lay off employees, the economy can crash, and unexpected expenses can arise. The key to financial success is to develop a financial safety net through income-generating assets. Our rich dad advised Robert to always pay himself first. By setting aside money for investments before paying expenses, most people do the opposite. They pay their bills, taxes, and debts first, and if anything is left, they might save or invest. Wealthy people prioritize investing in their own businesses and assets before anything else, ensuring their money continues to grow. Kiyosaki also emphasizes that even if you have a job, you should start building your own business on the side. For example, if you are a teacher, you could create online courses or write books that generate passive income. If you work in an office, you could invest in real estate or stocks. The goal is to develop multiple streams of income so that you are not financially dependent on your job alone. The key takeaway from this chapter is: keep your job, but start working on your own assets. If you focus on building income-generating investments, you can eventually achieve financial independence and escape the cycle of working paycheck to paycheck. Chapter 5. The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains how taxes affect rich and poor people differently, and how the rich use corporations to protect their wealth. He shares that many people believe taxes are meant to help the poor, but in reality, they often hurt the middle class more. Kiyosaki explains that when governments introduced taxes, they were originally meant for the rich. However, over time, taxes also started affecting the middle class and poor people. The problem is that employees pay taxes before they can spend their money, while the rich who own businesses spend first and pay taxes later. This is because business owners and investors can use corporations to reduce their taxes legally. A corporation is a legal structure that allows businesses to protect their income and pay fewer taxes. Instead of receiving a salary and paying high taxes like employees, the business owners can deduct expenses like travel, cars, and meals before paying taxes on their remaining income. This gives them a big advantage over employees who have no choice but to pay taxes first and spend what is left. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial education is the key to understanding taxes and money management. Instead of working harder and paying more taxes, people should learn how to invest, start businesses, and use tax-saving strategies like the rich do. Key takeaway: the rich don't work harder to earn more. They work smarter by using legal tax advantages. To achieve financial freedom, we should learn about investing, starting businesses, and managing taxes wisely. Chapter 6. The Rich Invent Money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains that rich people do not wait for opportunities, they create them. He believes that financial intelligence is the key to success because, with the right knowledge, anyone can learn to make money, regardless of their current financial situation. The difference between the rich and the poor is not just how much money they have, but how they think about money and opportunities. Most people are afraid of taking risks, so they focus on job security and saving money. However, the rich understand that money is always moving, and those who are financially educated can see opportunities where others see obstacles. Kiyosaki shares that people often say, "I can't afford it," but rich people ask, "How can I afford it?" This simple shift in thinking forces the mind to find solutions and opportunities. He shares a personal story about how he made money without using his own capital. He bought a property at a low price, improved it, and then sold it for a much higher price, making a profit. He did not use his own savings, but found creative ways to finance the deal. This is what he calls inventing money, using knowledge, creativity, and financial intelligence to create wealth rather than simply working for a paycheck. The rich do not depend on luck. They develop skills that allow them to recognize and create opportunities. Kiyosaki encourages readers to expand their financial knowledge, take calculated risks, and learn from mistakes, rather than playing it safe and waiting for money to come to them. This chapter teaches that opportunities are everywhere, but only those who are financially smart can see them. Instead of fearing risk, people should focus on building their financial intelligence to take advantage of opportunities when they arise. Chapter 7. Work to learn. Don't work for money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of learning new skills instead of just working for a paycheck. He explains that most people focus only on earning money, which keeps them stuck in the same financial situation. Instead of chasing higher salaries, he advises people to focus on developing skills that will help them create wealth in the long run. The rich understand that financial success comes from knowledge and experience, not just from earning more money. Kiyosaki shares that many people specialize in one field and rely solely on their jobs for income. However, rich people learn multiple skills, especially those related to sales, marketing, and investing. He uses his own life as an example, explaining how he took different jobs not for the salary, but to learn essential business skills. He worked in sales to improve his ability to communicate and persuade, knowing that this skill would help him in business later. He believes that learning about accounting, investing, and leadership is more valuable than simply earning a high salary. He also highlights that fear keeps people trapped in jobs they dislike. Many people are afraid of losing job security, so they never take risks or explore new opportunities. This fear limits their growth and prevents them from achieving financial freedom. The rich, on the other hand, focus on learning rather than job security. They take risks, gain experience, and use that knowledge to create wealth through businesses and investments. Kiyosaki encourages readers to develop financial intelligence by continuously learning and improving their skills. Instead of working just for money, people should focus on acquiring knowledge that will help them build businesses, invest wisely, and create multiple sources of income. The key to financial freedom is not a high salary, but a strong understanding of money, business, and investing. Chapter 8. Overcoming Obstacles. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki explains that even financially educated people struggle to become rich because of 5 major obstacles: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. He emphasizes that learning about money is not enough. One must also overcome these mental barriers to achieve financial success. The rich are not free from fear, but they learn how to manage it and take calculated risks to grow their wealth. The first obstacle is fear, especially the fear of losing money. Most people are so afraid of failure that they never take the necessary steps toward financial success. Kiyosaki explains that even rich people lose money sometimes, but the difference is that they learn from their mistakes and keep moving forward. He encourages people to see failures as learning experiences instead of letting fear stop them. The second obstacle is cynicism, which comes in the form of self-doubt and negative thinking. Many people hesitate to invest because they are always worried about what-if scenarios. What if the market crashes? What if they lose money? This fear of the unknown keeps them from taking action. Kiyosaki advises people to focus on facts, do their research, and not let doubt hold them back. The third obstacle is laziness. People often say they are too busy to learn about finances, but in reality, they are just avoiding responsibility. Kiyosaki says that instead of saying, "I can't afford it," people should ask, "How can I afford it?" This small change in mindset helps them become proactive in finding solutions rather than avoiding financial education. The fourth obstacle is bad habits. Many people develop poor financial habits, such as spending their paycheck first and saving whatever is left. The rich do the opposite. They invest first and then spend what remains. Kiyosaki stresses the importance of paying yourself first, meaning that before paying bills or spending on luxuries, people should invest in assets that generate income. The final obstacle is arrogance. Some people refuse to learn new things because they think they already know enough. This attitude prevents them from growing financially. Kiyosaki advises readers to always stay open to learning, ask questions, and surround themselves with people who have more financial knowledge. This chapter teaches that the biggest barriers to wealth are not external factors, but internal fears and habits. To become rich, one must overcome these obstacles by learning, taking risks, and maintaining a strong financial mindset. Chapter 9. Getting Started. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki provides practical steps for those who want to achieve financial freedom. He emphasizes that financial success is not just about having money, but about having the right mindset and taking action. Many people dream of becoming rich, but only a few take the necessary steps. Kiyosaki encourages readers to start their financial journey by following key principles that can help them build wealth over time. The first step is to find a strong reason to become rich. Without a clear purpose, most people lose motivation and give up. Kiyosaki explains that rich people have a strong desire for financial independence, whether it is to provide a better life for their families, escape the cycle of working paycheck to paycheck, or have the freedom to pursue their passions. A strong reason gives people the determination to keep going, even when they face challenges. The second step is to choose to learn and grow. Many people avoid learning about finances because they think it is too complicated, but Kiyosaki stresses that financial education is essential for success. He encourages readers to read books, attend seminars, and learn from successful investors and entrepreneurs. The more knowledge a person gains, the better they can recognize opportunities and avoid financial mistakes. The third step is to take control of your finances. This means tracking income and expenses, understanding taxes, and making smart investment decisions. Many people work hard, but never build wealth because they do not manage their money properly. Kiyosaki advises people to focus on building assets and reducing liabilities. Instead of spending money on luxuries, people should invest in things that generate income, like real estate, stocks, or businesses. Another important step is to surround yourself with successful people. Kiyosaki explains that a person's mindset is influenced by the people around them. If someone spends time with negative or financially irresponsible people, they are more likely to develop bad habits. On the other hand, being around successful investors and business-minded individuals can provide motivation, new ideas, and valuable advice. Finally, Kiyosaki urges readers to take action. Many people wait for the perfect time to start investing, but the reality is that there is never a perfect time. Success comes from starting small, learning from mistakes, and growing over time. He emphasizes that it is better to take small steps than to do nothing at all. This chapter teaches that building wealth is a journey that requires the right mindset, continuous learning, and taking action. Anyone can achieve financial success if they have a strong reason, develop financial knowledge, make smart decisions, and take control of their financial future. Chapter 10. Still want more? Here are some to-dos. In this final chapter, Robert Kiyosaki provides practical actions. For those who truly want to change their financial future, he emphasizes that reading about money is not enough. One must apply the lessons in real life. Many people understand financial concepts, but hesitate to take action due to fear, doubt, or lack of confidence. Kiyosaki encourages readers to break this cycle by starting small, learning continuously, and taking risks wisely. He suggests several important steps: setting financial goals, expanding financial knowledge, looking for investment opportunities, and taking control of personal finances. Instead of waiting for the right time, people should start now by analyzing their income, reducing unnecessary expenses, and focusing on building assets. He also advises readers to study how money works, attend seminars, read books on investing, and surround themselves with people who are financially successful. By making these small changes, anyone can start their journey toward financial freedom. Kiyosaki also talks about the power of persistence. Success does not come overnight. There will be challenges and failures along the way. However, those who keep going and learn from their mistakes eventually achieve financial independence. He reminds readers that not every wealthy person once started from nothing. The difference was their determination to succeed. Moral of the chapter. The key lesson from this chapter is that knowledge without action is useless. If you want to change your financial future, you must take responsibility, educate yourself, and start applying what you learn. The journey may not be easy, but with patience, smart decision-making, and persistence, anyone can achieve financial freedom. Best wishes for your financial journey. As you finish this book, remember that your financial success is in your hands. The principles shared in Rich Dad, Poor Dad are not just theories. They are practical steps that have helped countless people change their lives. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, take action. Wishing you all the best in your journey toward financial independence and success. Blast off, money.